Good morning. I appreciate everybody coming out here. My name is Colonel Robert Driscoll. I'm the chair of the Melrose Veterans Advisory Board, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us today for our Memorial Day ceremonies as we remember and honor our fallen heroes as well as our Gold Star families. We will begin today's remembrance ceremony with the singing of the national anthem by Paige Chernoff.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Paige. Next, I'm going to ask Barbara Khan to lead us in prayer.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Memorial Day is a day of remembrance. We remember and honor the sacrifices of the courageous men and women who have served and who are currently serving in the military. As a nation, we have been blessed with freedom and security because of the military and selfless sacrifices of these people. May this Memorial Day help you to remember and honor those brave men and women, comfort the families and friends who have lost loved ones, and bless those who continue to serve our country. As we stand here in the rain, think of the rain as the teardrops for the memories of all of our service people. Our hearts are filled with deep gratitude for the many brave men and women whom we miss. We think not only of those who gave their lives in service, but of the others who are now currently serving. Bless those service people who fought and who have returned safely, some with war wounds, whom we salute as well today. And always remember that freedom is really not free. Think about how we got this freedom. Help us to live peaceably with each other. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. We gather today at the Vietnam Reflection Area to honor those we have lost. Mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, sons, daughters, and friends. This veteran-designed and built memorial is an area to reflect, honor, and remember. It was placed in this spot so that you can look out across El Pond at the beautiful Vietnam Memorial on Main Street. We also point out our Gold Star Family Memorial at the top of the Knoll, honoring the families of our lost heroes. These families carry the pain of freedom. For them, Memorial Day is every day. Please keep them close to your heart today and every day. Now I'd like to welcome a friend to all veterans, Mayor Jen Gregoritis, to say a few words.
Morning. I'm Jen Grigoritis, and I am honored to serve as the mayor of Melrose. I want to begin by thanking you all for being here today, and I know that a little bit of rain is nothing compared to what our service members and their families have sacrificed for this country. Memorial Day is our annual opportunity to set time and space aside to honor and remember all those who have died in service to our country. Throughout American history, Melrose residents have served bravely and honorably in every war and conflict over the centuries, and we must never forget their service and sacrifice. In Melrose, we remain committed to remembering the fallen members of our military and to serving the living veterans and their loved ones who call our city home. If you know a veteran who is not enrolled in state or federal benefits or needs assistance as their life circumstances change, please ask them to contact City Hall and our Veteran Services Director, Tammy Shovelton. Veterans have earned this assistance. Claiming it helps to prove to our state and federal legislators that these programs are still needed and worth supporting. Thank you, Tammy, Veteran Service Advisory Board Chairman Bob Driscoll, all of our Veterans Advisory Board members, and the volunteers who make our veterans and memorial events happen. Thank you to the DPW for preparing our monuments in Wyoming Cemetery, and to the school staff who's provided Friday's event at the middle school. And if I may end the same way I began, thank you to all of you for remembering your neighbors, loved ones, and forebears who served our country, especially those who gave their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Grigoritis. Next, we are honored and privileged today to have as our keynote speaker, Navy veteran Jason Chen. Jason is a Naval Academy graduate and served as a submarine officer after graduation. Today, Jason is city councilor in Melrose, as well as the council liaison to the Veterans Advisory Board. Please welcome Jason Chen.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Bob, for everything that you do. And thank you to Tammy for what you do every day, and also Kate for setting up the food. Bob, you picked a good day. I have a long speech, so settle in. When Bob asked me to speak about a month ago, I wanted to give the opportunity to a more senior and wiser veteran, but then I spoke to Bob and understood the difference between an invitation and an order, and here I am. You know, it reminds me of what a chief once told me: Navy stands for never again volunteer yourself. So, in all seriousness, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, is a complicated thing. Right? We gather in seriousness and sadness and some reflection. And it's the kind of holiday where we don't wish each other a happy Memorial Day. So in my 20s, I started hearing about people that I knew or went to school with or had served with, and they started getting killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. And as we went to their military funerals, we heard about the heroic things they did, and sometimes they volunteered for extra dangerous assignments, and we told ourselves if we were in their shoes, maybe we would have been courageous enough to do the same. And then, you know, as the years went on, more of our classmates and friends started dying in routine day-to-day work, right? Flying a helicopter out in the middle of the ocean at night. And we told ourselves that their luck just ran out. And maybe because we're 25 and we're invincible, that it wouldn't happen to us. And we told those things to ourselves because we wished that they were true, and we wanted to believe it, but we weren't really sure. So as you get older, as I got older, some things become less clear, and that's okay. So, you know, service in defense of your country and others is always noble. But it's not clear that all the wars that we're fighting these days, or have chosen to fight, are justified or well conceived. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it was worth all the lives of some of the people that I knew and some of the people that we know. We ask 20-year-olds to do things that they have to live with for the rest of their lives. That's not an easy ask. And we know too many friends and shipmates who die of their invisible wounds long after they leave the service and long after they've left the battlefield. And we will keep asking these questions. You know, we've asked these questions since Homer wrote the Iliad thousands of years ago. And if we are wise, we'll keep asking these questions and struggle with them as long as we're asking our sons and daughters to take up arms and defend our country. So as I get older, I also think about the different titles we take on, right? A son, a brother, a father, a friend. And all these stories for the fallen are cut short. But the saddest part is, when a lot of these people raised their hand of the fallen, they didn't even know what they were giving up. And the fool, all those roles that they would sacrifice and not be around for later on. So they weren't perfect, and neither are we. But as I look around and see the people gathered today, I think they would think that we did them proud. And what I mean by that is, there's first responders that are here, and they honor us with what they do every day. And we honor their fallen as well. There are teachers and coaches and scout leaders, scoutmasters, and they're educating our younger generation to hopefully not make the same mistakes we did and be wiser than us. And for the younger generation here, you know, I appreciate that you are finding ways to serve and contribute that I would never think of. I hope that you keep doing that and lead the way. To our city leaders and our state leaders, we're here to try to be good, honest government and do the most good for the most people and try to treasure the lives and safety of people who serve us. To the veterans in attendance, thank you for checking on each other and the families of the fallen. And I know that each of you carry a few names close to your heart, not just today, but every day. And I'd like you to tell me some of those stories of those people next time we have a beer. I wish each of you a long, a peaceful, and a happy life with those that you love and care about.
Thank you, Jason. Memorial Day is a day to remind all Americans of the tremendous cost of freedom. As Ronald Reagan stated, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-fought lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. At this time, we invite members of the community to come up and honor a veteran in their life by announcing their name and laying a flower at the memorial. If anybody would like to come up, please do.
Brennan, United States Navy. Murray Bernstein, United States Air Force.
David A. Bingham, U.S. Marines, Vietnam.
Michael Buggy, U.S. Army. Stephen Falkowski, U.S. Army. Ronald Borthwick, U.S. Army.
Joe Grigas, Navy, World War II. Tom Mullane, Navy, World War II. Ed Voigt, World War II. Joe Steniford, World War II.
Oliver Childress, U.S. Army, Vietnam.
My husband, Edward Hatch, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam, and my father, George Curtin, U.S. Army, World War II.
Douglas Grant Smith, my brother, U.S. Navy Submarine Service.
My mother, Patricia Gauthier, Navy, and my father, Conrad Gauthier, Marines.
My grandfather, U.S. Navy, World War I. My father, Army, World War II, and my brother, 30 years in the Coast Guard.
My uncle, Gary Heyer, was in the Army in World War II, a medic. Frank Sullivan, Army.
Frank Shula, John Sanfilippo, World War II.
Arthur Kahn, my husband, who just passed 2 months ago, he was in the Korean War.
At this time, we're going to ask Paige to come back up and lead us in God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Paige. I'm going to ask Barbara to come back up now and lead us in a closing prayer.
I have a better walker with you this time.
A much bigger one.
Thank you very much. Lord, as we conclude this Memorial Day service, we ask that the lives of those who have fallen not be forgotten, but become a living legacy. May their courage inspire future generations to value justice, integrity, and service. Help us honor their memory through how we live as people of character and compassion. Let the schools teach their bravery, the families speak of their sacrifices, communities cherish the freedom that they have brought. May their stories be passed down not in sorrow alone, but in gratitude and hope. Let their light continue to shine through us. Wrap your arms around all of our sons and daughters, husbands and wives, mothers, fathers, and friends who were left behind, and help us as a nation to live selflessly, and seek the good in others. Thank you so much. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. At this time, we will conclude our ceremonies with the playing of taps by former Mayor Lynn Fells. Thank you, Mayor Inferna. Thank you all for joining us today. There'll be a collation at the Prince VFW post on Main Street immediately following the ceremony. I want to thank Mayor Jen and her staff for their support. I also want to thank our singer Paige. And I also want to thank, as the mayor said, the DPW for all the work they do on our monuments, especially the DPW worker that's got to push the mower up that hill. I really appreciate all their efforts. All right. On behalf of the Veterans Advisory Board, our Director of Veteran Services, Tamara Shovelton, and Mayor Jen, have a very thoughtful Memorial Day. Thank you.
Identity theft happens. It's an unfortunate fact of modern life. But there are certain steps you can take to help keep your personal information from falling into the wrong hands. Every day you do things to protect what's most important to you. And you know what? You do them almost automatically. Routine things like looking both ways before you cross, brushing your teeth, and buckling your seatbelt. Another routine to get into is keeping tabs on your identity and personal information. Here are 5 easy ways you can do it. Read your credit card and bank statements carefully and often. Know your payment due dates. If a bill doesn't show up when you expect it, look into it. Read the statements from your health insurance plan. Make sure the claims paid match the care you got. Shred any documents with personal and financial information. Review each of your 3 credit reports at least once a year. It's easy and it's free. And before you know it, protecting your personal information can be as routine as locking your doors at night. For more tips and tools on dealing with identity theft, visit ftc.gov/ID theft. That's ftc.gov/ID theft.